Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, and a little update on stuff that I talked about on Sunday that came in all of a sudden. And as some of you know, I was talking about a friend of mine, somebody that I know that was going to show people how to do stock trading. And because he wanted to help his kids learn how to do it, so he thought he'd put it together and put it out for us. And he thought of me and reached out to me. And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And a little thought came into my head like, is this taking me away from what I'm supposed to be doing? Even if it might be really good, there's something called opportunity cost, which basically means whenever you do something, you don't get to do something else. You know, if you spend money on one thing, you don't get to spend on something else. Or if you spend your time doing this, you don't get to spend your time doing that. So, you know, I've gone through many layers of this, of what really matters to me. And it's a really cool exercise to do, is to like list out what really matters to you, what really matters. Because there's something that has been called shiny object syndrome, which basically means, you know, you get pulled to the next cool thing to do, but but it's kind of nice to know what really matters to you. And so while there could be some really good opportunities, I realize, you know, I'm in the middle of putting together the next 30 sessions in 30 days and doing a live version of that for our group that already has that, and for anybody else that wants in on it. And it's really calling to me. And there's a whole other layer beyond that that I'm already seeing, that I'll tell you more about later. That's the next level up from that. And it's because I've been finding some really direct ways to access spirit or energy or grace or whatever you want to call that, because it's been one of my interests for years, for my whole life, is to find how to access that infinite energy or space or God or whatever you want to call it, and have a good life. And my thing, what matters to me, for you guys and for us, is to help you get healthy enough, to get your health back, so you can get on your own surfboard and get on your own wave. That's how one of my medical intuitive teachers used to say. That was her path, and that feels like mine too, to help people get healthy enough to get on their own surfboard and to take their own wave and figure out their version of life. And so I'm going to back off of that partnership thing to be in a trading, you know, market trading kind of learning beta group for right now, and encouraged my friend to just do it for his kids, you know, because that's what he really wanted. So, but there is going to be, I did notice that there was a lot of people. In fact, I think this was probably the biggest post I did, was Sunday, of as far as like how many people commented. And I can really feel what you want, what you want. And years ago, I had a lot of, I surveyed a lot of our people, a lot of us, and found, of course, that money is such an important thing. And but what is it really about? What do we really, really want? What's the thing that really matters? And what's the best way to get you that, you know? So there's a lot of ways to do it, of course. And one of my interests is to get somebody healthy enough, and then to tap into that energy, that spirit, that source energy, and do it with what's congruent for you, for you. You know, it's different for everybody, but it's good to know. It's good to know. And then when you notice the shiny object syndrome, that you're being pulled somewhere, if it feels like it's pulling away from what you're here to do, you might take a look at that, and then and go inside and sit in stillness and see, what do you want to do. So that's what I decided, and everything is for our good, is what I believe. And even this post that I put out Sunday about, you know, hey, anybody want to learn this market way of trading thing, with all those emails and messages, so many, probably over 100, maybe 150 messages between all the Facebook and YouTube and email responses back, I can feel it. And so you know, we know money is a really, really, really big thing, the soul of money. And whether somebody has a lot of it or none of it, there's a lot of compromises that can be made from that. But there's a way to use money and your life purpose for what you really, really want. So and then to notice when you have this shiny object syndrome and you're pulled away. I was watching my favorite news show, The High Wire with Del Bigtree this last week. And there's a new whistleblower at the CDC that's reporting on a bunch of fraud in research related to the COVID thing. And then before that on vaccines. And Del Bigtree asked her, because he was like, she finally came out. He's been talking to her for 2 years. And she finally came out and said, hey, this is what's going on. And he said, you know, are you the only scientist that knows all this malfeasance, all this fraud? And is it just that the scientists there are all evil? Are they really trying to just do bad things? Or do they just not know? Or they don't care? Or what is going on? And she sat for a while and she sat for a while. And she seemed like a really nice lady. And then she kind of had a really funny little smile. And she said, you know, it's the money. It's the money. It's the money. You know, they will lose their funding. They won't be able to do their job. They've studied very hard and become PhDs in all this. And they're high up in the structure of the scientific community and the university community and the NIH and all that. And it's about the money. They would lose their position and their job and their respect and their money. They'd lose their money. And she kind of smiled. And it kind of got me a bit. It's like, my God, you know, it's like we're talking about children and their lives, literally their lives. And some of the malfeasance she was talking about, literally, it's about children and losing their lives over this. And I thought, and it's about the money. So there's a lot of good that can be done with money, a lot of good. You can be a really good person. And if you have more money, you could be even gooder, right? And if you're really not doing good in the world and committing things that are part of us, complicit with a system or something that's causing a lot of harm, a lot more money, maybe you're still going to just do a lot more not so good. I don't know. But it's kind of cool because if you're with me, you're at the highest integrity and you're doing things for good reasons. And money can only help you do better. But it's kind of good to check in, like, what is really important to you, what matters, so that you know, so that when a shiny object comes in, you can go, oh, that sounds good, but it's not my thing. It's not my thing. So hope this helps. And I'm going to reach out as part of 30 Sessions in 30 Days program that I do, the End Anxiety program. I'm relaunching it with extra stuff because there's so much more stuff that came in since it started 2 years ago. And so I'm going to do another live set of that. And I'm going to have another component for the money thing, but more from how I view it and how I tap into source energy for that sort of thing. So have a great day, and I will see you all soon. Let's get out there and live. Let's really live. All right, you guys.